So this episode's called Home Run Coda. You know, maybe I am thinking a little too far into the negative on this one. After all, Coda is one of my favorite characters and was the main focus of one of my favorite episodes last season, so maybe I should give this one the benefit of a doubt. So before I change my mind, let's talk about episode 7, Home Run Coda. The episode opens with the Rangers in a field wanting to teach Coda about sports when they're spotted by Fury, who plans to attack the team with a monster. Coda breaks most of the sporting equipment in a montage, catching the attention of a nearby team playing baseball before Riley decides to show Coda the sport. However, their fun is interrupted by some and a monster called Gameface. The Rangers put up a good fight against the villains, but are no match for Gameface's evil sporting equipment. That is, until Coda unwittingly picks up Gameface's bat and uses it to send the monsters flying. The baseball coach nearby sees Coda's swinging skills and offers Coda to be on his team, which Riley accepts. Coda asks Riley if he would like this, and Riley says that he knows everything about baseball, even though this is the first time in over 25 episodes that Riley even mentioned baseball, but says that with Coda's skill and his knowledge, the two could go down in history. On the ship, Heckle asks Gameface why he didn't steal the Energem, with the monster saying that Vivix are too out of shape to get the job done. Fury agrees, saying the Vivix eat too much junk food, so Heckle, I kid you not, orders Gameface to get the Vivix in shape. Yes, that is the master plan for this episode. Cut to the Rangers watching a baseball press conference where Riley introduces himself as Coda's personal trainer before reporters ask questions, with Coda saying things like he likes to play barefooted and nearly revealing that he's a caveman before Riley ends the conference, prompting the others to wonder if this is what Coda really wants. After the conference, the scene shifts to Coda's first game where Riley forces the caveman to put on shoes as he heads up to bat. Unsurprisingly, Coda hits a home run. Meanwhile, the villains are doing this.
Move it, you sorry sacks of seaweed! Push down the boulders and we'll knock out the weaklings! All A superstars make the cut for my Doom Squad, and you're a bunch of laughable lightweights!
Man, I wish Snide was here to talk about how stupid all this is. Cue another montage where Riley trains Coda and changes his eating habits, all the while the caveman keeps hitting home runs, earning the episode title as a nickname. After the montage, Kendall shows Ivan, Chase, Tyler, and Shelby a new charger that can channel all the Core 5 Energem powers into a final strike, calling it a victory charger because Sentai. When Coda and Riley walk in, the others tell them about the new charger, wanting to go test it, but Riley says testing's going to have to wait because Coda has more training. Tyler asks when they be ready, pointing out that Gameface is still out there, and even with Coda saying they need to be ready, Riley says they will be before dragging Coda away. At the next game, Coda begins doubting Riley's priorities as he unhappily sends the team to the championship game. While that's going on, the Vivix are still training, but their large numbers catch the attention of Kendall and the other Rangers. The team explains the situation to Coda and Riley, wanting to go check it out, but Riley says they need to go to the championship game, and though the others protest, he tells the four to check out the situation and call if he needs him and Coda, shocking and disappointing the rest of the team as they head out to check on the Vivix. The group sees the Vivix training, with Gameface and Wrench discovering that Coda's been using the monster's bat to hit all his home runs. Gameface says this is fantastic, explaining that the bat is also an explosive, and that all the villains need to do is get close enough to detonate it. Overhearing this, Tyler tries to contact Coda and Riley, but what do you know, they don't have their communicators on them, so the rest of the team rushes to the stadium. They make it there, explaining the situation to Coda and Riley before taking the bat outside, and though Coda wants to follow, Riley stops him, saying the others can handle this and that they have a game to win. Coda says that while the game is important, it's still just a game, but Riley says that they have to win since he's dreamed about winning a game like this since he was a kid, but could never make it in the big leagues despite being a rancher, athletic runner, and routine fencer in all the episodes prior to this. Coda even points out the obvious fact that the dude's also a freaking Power Ranger and that the others are their team, and that literally is all it takes for Riley to admit that he was wrong, and the two go to help the others. When the Rangers get outside, they run into Gameface, Wrench, Fury, and some Vivix, so Coda throws the bat so it explodes away from the stadium. Gameface mentions that Coda will now not be able to hit any more home runs before ordering his Doom Squad to attack the Rangers, who morph into action. During the fight, the Rangers take on basketball dribbling Vivix, I can't believe I just said that, as Wrench and Fury look on, Fury gloating about their victory before the two leave. Thanks guys, you were totally needed in this scene. After getting knocked around by the basketball, Kendall shows up to give the team the victory charger, and after Ivan easily defeats the Vivix and Tyler morphs into Supercharge, the team uses the new charger to take out Gameface. Heckle causes the team of Gameface, Vivix, and Spike Balls to grow, so the Rangers call in their Zords, and after a pretty tough battle, the Rangers use Super Drive and a random Megazord bat with the Sentai logo on it, might I add, to finish off the monsters. After the fight, the Rangers make it back to the game, with the coach asking Coda for a home run, but the caveman has doubts.
Do it, kid.
I not have magic bat. I not hit home run.
Hey, Coda, it's not about the bat. It's not even about hitting a home run. Hey, forget all your training. Use your instincts, like you're hunting. This is your club. And when something comes at you, hit it. Caveman strong.
Man, isn't it great that the guy who's been acting out of character the most in this episode reinforces the message to Koda about being yourself? We then get a very drawn-out scene of Koda at bat, even taking off his shoes, and the episode ends with Koda hitting a home run, as if there was any doubt that he would miss. This is not a Power Rangers episode. And not in the good way like Powers from the Past or RPM's first episode. I mean, this is a sports movie that has been squeezed into 20 minutes that happens to have Power Rangers in it. And because the plot focuses on putting in all the cliches of a sports movie, that means the pacing in this episode is atrocious. Not only do we get 2 montages, but we also focus more on the baseball stuff in this episode, with many of the Power Rangers elements kept largely in the background. But it's not like the Power Rangers-esque parts of this episode are all that great to begin with. Rather than Heckle destroying Game Face and the Viveks for failing him, he instead wastes time by letting Game Face teach them basketball so they can defeat the Rangers. Oh, and what a difference all that training made, huh? Since all Sir Ivan had to do was lightning strike them and they were obliterated. However, where this episode truly fails is with the characters, the biggest casualty being Riley, who I would say is acting wildly out of character here, but it's kinda hard to do that when he's been at the mercy of the writers, filling whatever role they need him to in all of his focused episodes. First he's a sword fighter, then he grew up with people making assumptions about him, then he turned into Logic Man, but then he's a brainiac who didn't want to be a cowboy. And just when I could see that character as believable with all that information, here the writers have him force Koda into living his childhood dream apparently of wanting to be a big baseball star, completely throwing out all the athletic and reason skills that we built this character to have in previous episodes. But the other Rangers don't really act all that consistent either, since Koda pretty much goes along with Riley up until the Rangers need to fight at the end, and despite everyone else disapproving of Riley and Koda focusing more on baseball, no one really confronts Riley about this until the end because the script says they all need to fight a monster. We don't even have Keeper step in to give a whole speech about responsibility when it would be so appropriate to do so here. Overall, while this is without a doubt the worst episode of Dino Charge, be it Super or otherwise, the big question I find myself struggling with is whether or not it's worse than Last Laugh. Because as bad and as pointless as that episode is, at least the characters remain consistent, whereas in this episode, all of these characters, who are people I'm invested in, all act out of character to some degree to focus on this stupid and time-wasting baseball plot. And I know it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway, I do not recommend this episode. I'm Nick, aka IronBat1993, and may the power protect you.